Hello, fam. Welcome to my show, Sativa Sean Las Vegas Tips. I ain't got the pen. So wait, hold on a second. Oh, wait, I found some. I ain't got the pen to make notes with, so I'm doing all this off the cuff. All right, so anyway, um, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite philosophers, Albert Camus. Man, and that's another thing. Camus. His name is spelled Camus, and academics will they'll clown you if you say Camus. It's Camus, all right? Sorry, y'all, I'm about to get my workout in. I'm feeling a little energetic today. Okay, so Albert Camus, man, if you want to learn how to be happy, and when I read him the first time, The Stranger, The Plague, the essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, man, you want to talk about something that makes you want to tear your hair out, man, it's Camus. Because, if you look at life as like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like life is dark and you feel like in this dark house, and then some guy opens up the shades and you're like, oh, come on, man. Seriously? It was that simple? All this darkness, and all you had to do is step 3 feet away and open the shades, and now you got light in? But that light exposes you to yourself. And that's Albert Camus. But the beautiful thing about Albert Camus is he also teaches you how to live, man. He teaches you how to live. Okay? All right, and we'll talk about what I consider his 3 greatest contributions to philosophy. Now, this motherfucker, he got a Nobel Peace Prize for writing, all right? He didn't cure a bunch of kids from AIDS or nothing. He was writing some stuff down, and they're like, man, you're so smart. You need yourself a Nobel Peace. It's like $1 million. That fool made $1 million. And by the way, Albert Camus was handsome, athletic. He was single all his whole life, even though when he wasn't. I think he was married 2 or 3 times, and he had a bunch of girlfriends. He looked like Humphrey Bogart, James Dean, and had a baby. He was just a smooth dude, man. He lived it like, listen, I keep telling you guys this. You can't separate the philosophy from the philosopher. And Albert Camus was exactly what he preached. Okay, and we'll talk about it. But the reason why I love Albert Camus so much is because he really taught me how to live, man. After I swallowed that bitter pill, he taught me how to live. Okay, so let's talk about his 3 contributions. And by the way, guys, this is an oversimplified version of Albert Camus, but I'll give you my takeaways from his work in as short time as possible, because my goal is to get you to go read his work. And then you yourself, it's just like when you read a fantasy novel. Everyone has a different idea of what that fantasy is. You can envision how that applies to your life and then make your own decisions. But you definitely have to read it, man. I mean, if you're going to be on this spinning rock for the next 20 years, you might as well read some Albert Camus. That fool was smart. Okay. All right. Number 1. Hopefully one of these works. All right, hold on one second. Oh, yeah. It's a nice-ass marker. Boy, marker. Nice. His book, The Stranger. They also call it The Outsider, but it goes by, I call it The Stranger. Either one works. It's called The Stranger. This was required reading in French schools for a long time. The Stranger. Okay? It's because it's like we all feel estranged from others, man. The first line of the book is probably the most ingenious. I mean, this guy nailed it, every way, which way but loose. I know I sound like an Albert Camus groupie. I'm sorry. All right, The Stranger. Aujourd'hui, ma mère est morte. Peut-être hier, je ne sais pas. What does that mean? Trauma meter? Today, my mother died. Maybe yesterday. I don't know. This is a guy speaking about the woman that raised him, gave birth to him. He doesn't seem to give a damn. He's detached. And let's admit it, we all are detached to some degree. A lot of what we do, and what about the book? The beauty about The Stranger was this guy had come to the conclusion that he's not going to play the game. He's not going to pretend to be in love with his mom. He's not going to pretend to care about his family. He's not going to pretend to want friends. It was like he was in his own little, he saw the hypocrisy of capitalism and society and everything. Like he just was, you know what? So he did something incredibly awful just to feel something. All the way to the end. All he wanted to do was connect. Because to be honest, he was disconnected. He could care less if he really searched his true feelings. The stranger's in all of us. I mean, especially in this day of like social media and we're always on our phones. And, you know, ask yourself, like, how much time do I really spend with my kids? How much, like when I have breakfast with my moms, do I turn my phone off? I do. You know, I got to tell you how I feel about my moms. But yeah, man, that's a bitter pill to swallow. You've got to disconnect. Disconnect. I'm sorry, connect. We're already disconnected. We're in a state of disconnection. When you wake up, you're disconnected. Don't lie to me, man. No. Talk to the hand. You're disconnected. You're disconnected. So what the stranger tells you to do is, man, make an effort to connect. Make an effort to connect. Sit your son down, like I do sometimes. Say, hey, you know, I definitely don't have your phone on. And be like, son, how's your day going? What'd you do today? And really listen, like, okay, right? Okay, why'd you do that? You know, sit down with your mom. Sit down with your significant other. When you talk to your friends, are you really listening, or are you just waiting to get you back to your Instagram? Man, I hate to say it, but and listen, but guys, by the way, the only reason I can talk so well, because I'm guilty as a motherfucker. I'm as guilty as everyone else, okay? So the stranger, you can't read the stranger and come out the same person. Read the stranger, okay? Okay, number 2. Ooh, this one's good. This one be good. He wrote an essay called The Myth of Sisyphus. Now, Sisyphus was, just to make a long story short, because I try to keep these videos simple, Sisyphus was a king that convinced the gods to bring him back to life to handle issues on the earth. When he was like me back in my younger days, boy, I was scheming. Anyway, he came back to earth and he was just like, hey man, he ghosted everyone. It's like, I ghosted the gods. Well, they caught him. They caught his ass. Listen, you can piss off a lot of people, but don't piss off no gods, man. They got a real mean streak. That's all I'm saying. So that's what they did. They made him, for all eternity, roll a rock up a hill, and then just to watch it go all the way back down. Not a hill, a mountain. Like, think Mount Everest. He had to roll this big boulder up this rock, up this Mount Everest, 32,000 feet. And just to watch it roll all the way down again. And then he went all the way back down to the bottom, and he walked it all the way back up. That was his life. That's his life for eternity. For eternity. Okay? And the gods look at him like, ooh, we got this fool. He's done now. They're like, Sisyphus, oh, now you done learned your lesson. Huh? Okay. All right. And they're like, anybody who thinks about screwing the gods, take a look at Sisyphus. Come on, man. You got some binoculars? Go and take a look at him. That's what happens when you F with the gods. Hold on a second. Albert Camus, one of his most famous lines in that essay, which, man, it's just amazing. This guy was like next level thinker, like 5-dimension thinker. He goes, if you can imagine Sisyphus happy, then you can imagine a happy life. That just, oh my God. That just blows you away, man. What he meant by that was, yes, life is like rolling that rock up that hill every single day. It's pointless. There's no joy in it. People are looking at you, they're laughing at you. Especially the universe. The universe doesn't care what you're doing. Live, die, have kids, don't have kids. Do whatever you want. It ain't gonna make no difference. You're dead anyway. We all dead, right? But what if every time Sisyphus got behind that rock, he did something different? What if he tried to memorize a Bee Gees song? What if the second time he tried to learn French? What if the third time he's behind that rock, he tried to memorize the Quran. Maybe you got that behind that book and he tried to recite all the best quotes of Muhammad, peace be upon him. What if he got behind that rock and he was trying to find different ways to switch shoulders, trying to figure out different ways to roll the rock up? Because every time he got behind that rock, he tried to do something different. Well, two things happened. As he's walking down that hill, he's happy. He's considering all his options. So after a while, he's not pushing the rock. This is going to F with you. I'm going to get behind my thing right here. The rock's pushing him. The rock is pushing. I just put the script, man. Y'all pissed now. Now the gods are pissed. Because they're saying to themselves, wait a minute. We put this guy to see, but see, they don't know that. He does. He's pushing the rock, but the rock's pushing him. Now, when he walks back down that mountain, he's walking down happy. He not only has found a purpose in his life, using the rock, which is the mundane, but he's also done the most important thing. He's freed himself from his captors. The gods have no sway over him anymore. They thought they made him miserable for eternity. All they did was let this motherfucker learn about 300 languages and become an expert in all kinds of fields because he doesn't care anymore. He's not about his punishment. He's freed himself by his actions. So what that means by the myth of Sisyphus is, and this happened yesterday, I was eating Oreo cookies and drinking some milk. And I was about to go sit on my bed and watch the boys. I'm doing a binge watch. and as I was, I said to myself, I've been locked up a few times. It's all right. I was a real knucklehead. So I thought to myself, Sativa Sean, there have been times when you laid there in the joint saying to yourself, man, I would give both my legs and my intestines to be able to lay in my own bed and drink milk and eat Oreos. And that's what I did yesterday. I canceled my plans. I canceled all my plans, man. I had other ideas to leave the house and do things. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Oreos, milk, the boys, Amazon Prime. That was my day yesterday. And I think that's what the myth of Sisyphus tells us to do. It's like, listen, man, enjoy every minute of every day. Enjoy every minute of every day. Let the day drive you, not the big things, the little things. Let the little things be the catapult for a happy life. There's so much more to pull from the myth of Sisyphus. You've got to read the essay. As Sisyphus descends the walkway, imagine him happy. That's a statement that I just twisted. Like I said, that's one of the moments when I just wanted to walk up to the top of the lead library and just toss myself off, man. I was like, that's it. I'm just you know what I am? I'm a dumb motherfucker. All right. Okay, that's number 2. Okay, this is why I love me some Albert Camus, boy. Listen, don't talk bad about Albert Camus in my crib. Don't do it. Don't do it. It ain't safe for you. All right. Okay, next one. The last one of Albert Camus, his greatest contribution to your life is this. His death. The way he died. It's tragic, man. I don't know what to think about it. He was 46. His agent, Michel Gallimard, they were going on a trip, and he had brought a new sports car, and Albert Camus was like, hey, I'll go with you, man. I'll ride shotgun. I'm cool. He was a good friend. I'm sure he was. God, what a brilliant person he was. He jumped in the car, and they died. Car crash. Albert Camus died instantly. Gallimard, I think he lived for like 3 or 4 more days, and then he died from his injuries. In Albert Camus' pocket was the ticket, a train ticket that he had for the same destination. He had just changed his mind, decided to ride with Michel, and he died. Nothing could be more absurd. And when I say the word absurd, I'll put it right up here. Absurd is like life. He was the creator of the word absurdity. That no matter how great of a life you live, it can be taken away like that. Even to his death, he walked it like he talked it. He had every reason to live, and he died when all he had to do was take the train. But he jumped in the car and he got himself killed. And he's gone forever. I got friends that are dead too in the military, and they're still dead. That's why, you know, I have issues. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh about that. It's just horrible. But anyway, I feel these things because I really care about. I mean, you want to know a person, read their writings, and what's tragic about somebody's writings is they leave half of it unsaid, right? But his death, man, his death is a message to all of us to really, and this is what I take from it. Just, man, be as safe as possible. Be as safe as possible, man. Don't be going, listen, cancel that skydiving trip. Don't go hole jumping. Don't go free free climbing. Okay? I mean, I did so many dangerous things. I mean, don't do it anymore. Stop it, man. You know, it's better to be alive. And there's always absurdity out there waiting for you, man. And we call it Murphy's Law in the military. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So you always plan. And then trust me, it all goes to shit. It all goes to bollocks when the first shot is fired. You can believe that. But the more you plan, the better. The more people walk away from it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, take the path of highest safety, man. If you can walk instead of drive, walk there. Or drive if it's safer. You know, just be safe, man. Because at any minute you could die. You should drink every second of your life, like, I don't know, man, like red wine at the Bellagio, man, because you don't know when it's all going to end. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Albert Camus. I touched on him, and hopefully you guys can learn from the guy. You can read his book, The Stranger, or it's also called The Outsider. You need to read The Myth of Sisyphus and apply it to your own life. And then his death is a warning to all of us that we need to really stop taking so many chances, man. Life is fragile. Life is precious. And definitely don't take any chances with your children, man. I know my kids, I wrap them up in soft lamb cloth, man. They don't know the real world from nothing. My kids? No, my babies stay right where I can see them home. They ain't doing it. Just don't listen. It's not a joke. Don't take any chances. Your life is precious. You're connected to a network of people that really care about you. And if something happens to you, they're going to blame themselves. They're all going to wonder what they could have done to stop you, or what you could have done differently. And they're all going to say the same thing. I saw him just before that happened. So for the sake of yourself and for the sake of the people you love, learn from Albert Camus and take the path of safest opportunity before you do anything. Okay? I want you to be alive as long as possible. Okay? All right. That was Albert Camus. Didn't mean to go so dramatic, but that's life. Okay. Take care. I'll see you guys in the playing field.